Hey, it's Jordan. So today I'm going to do the gender tag. Question number 1. How do you self-identify and what does that definition mean to you? I self-identify as male, but really the definition of how you self-identify is, to me, what makes you comfortable. And so that's really all. It's just what makes you comfortable is the most important. Question 2. What pronouns honor you? I prefer male pronouns. And how I got to know that was when people in my daily life refer to me as female. I'm using her, she, hers. I flinch. I really it's not what I like. So, male pronouns. Question 3. Just describe your style of clothing that you most often wear. My style of clothing, if you haven't already noticed, is usually my binder, a tank top, and a casual button-down shirt. And how I came to realize that was a couple years ago when I went shopping. Before I was even out as transgender to really myself or my family, I saw this button-down plaid shirt in the female section of a clothing store, and I bought it, and I really, really liked it, and I started wearing it. But the top buttons always unbuttoned because whoever made women's clothing decided that it was a good idea for your chest area to make an appearance every once in a while. And for me, that was uncomfortable. And so I started to go towards wearing guy clothes. And, it really opened up for me after suppressing how I felt for several years, that I felt more like a guy. And that I was a guy. And so, yeah. And so, let's see. Question 4. Talk about your choice with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? Do you choose to shave or choose not to shave? So, first with shaving. I hate shaving. I've always hated shaving. And something that adds to that is I have what's a disability, even though I hate to say it's a disability. I have a disability called cerebral palsy, and so I'm not very flexible. It's harder to walk, and so on and so forth. And so when it came time for me to shave my legs in the shower and all that stuff, it was just very difficult. And even though my hair is really light, that's a plus. But it was just, I gave up. It was too hard. So I just didn't care. And even shaving under my arms, that was hard too. And just like, I didn't care. It was like, I'm not going to shave. I don't care. In terms of how I style my hair, just how I have it right now is kind of what I like to do, or I'll part it to the side sometimes. Sometimes I'll use gel, sometimes I won't. My hair is very fine, so the gel doesn't stay very well, and then I have to use a lot of gel to get it to work, and then my hair by the end of the day just is like a porcupine, and it's very uncomfortable. Do I have facial hair? No. Nothing. Unfortunately. But I would like to have 5 o'clock shadow. That's something I've always wanted and something I continue to want. So hopefully that'll happen one day. Hopefully. Next question is, talk about cosmetics. Do you choose to wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What type of soaps and perfumes do you use, if any? I do not wear makeup. I never really liked makeup. The only thing I really liked was mousse, and that was even at a young age. And I think most of that was just because I liked the foam and playing with the foam, but who knows. I did wear makeup when I was like in plays and stuff. But everyone, no matter what gender you are, wore makeup. I wore blush, I guess, a little bit when I was younger, but I don't wear makeup now. The only time I considered makeup was when I was gonna try and contour my face to kind of look more masculine because I'm not on hormones and I don't pass. But no, I do not use makeup. In terms of the soaps or perfumes I use, I just use whatever available. I prefer that it not be super like fragrant I guess is the word. I like those male, the male, I guess there's male shampoo, where it kind of just, I don't know. But anyway, I just prefer not as fragrant. Um, let's see. Have Have you experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? Well, I get misgendered basically 100% of the time. I look like I'm 12, and so it sucks. Even when I'm wearing a hat or male clothes, I get misgendered. And when I don't get misgendered, that's great. But even 90% of the time, when I don't get misgendered, they continue talking to me, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're not male, you're a female. I'm so sorry, miss, it'll never happen again." And then I have to shrug it off and say, "Oh no, don't worry about it." But I can't just say, "Oh no, you were right," because they noticed that they weren't right. So that's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. Let's just move on from that question. Do you experience dysphoria? How often does this affect you? Yes, I experience dysphoria quite often. My voice, especially when I'm excited, scared, or nervous, my voice goes extremely high. So that's uncomfortable. I have a fair amount of chest dysphoria, and just recently I've gotten a lot of bottom dysphoria. Which is a weird thing for me. I always said that I didn't want bottom surgery because I'd prefer to not lose feeling when dealing with, intimacy with a partner. But recently it's become an issue for me, and I've had dreams, and I'll wake up from the dreams after, either having top surgery or bottom surgery, and I'll realize, oh wait, that was just a dream, and that kind of sucks. But in terms of my dysphoria, I don't tend to show it, especially when I'm around my parents, because parents don't understand. Even though they're supportive, they don't get it. They don't get how debilitating dysphoria can be, and so they just don't think it's rational to be so debilitated by dysphoria. So, my dysphoria usually goes inward and turns into depression because I'd rather, you know, not have to deal with my parents, if that makes sense. Um, so, yeah. Um, Question 8. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that were an option for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you may have? Um, I don't want children. I don't want to carry children, I should say. My wife can carry them. That's fine. That's all well and good. But if that's not an option, I'm fine with adoption. I was adopted from Russia and taken out of a very bad situation. So, and any chance I get to help someone who's less privileged than me, like a child, and take them out of a bad situation, I think that's the right thing to do. I'm not so concerned about if they're biological or not, just whether they're well taken care of. And as for how they're taken care of, I don't care if I'm the primary person to bring in money or not. I just want the partnership to be equal, however that turns out. So, yeah, I don't really care. Let's see. Question 9. Talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more money than any partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? Honestly, again, I don't care. I think a partnership should be equal, and that's all that matters. If they want to split the check, if they want to pay the check, or I want to pay the check, doesn't matter to me. I think society today has several stereotypes of, oh, the woman's always right. Just so you won't upset her or something, and the male is the person to, or whatever, is the person to, bring home the money. But honestly, I just want the partnership, as I've said several times, to be equal. I think in one way or another, everything should be fair. If we're making a decision, like on a house or on a family, I'm not gonna say to my partner, oh, whatever you want is totally fine. I don't care, just as long as you're happy. Because honestly, that's bull. I want my partner to be happy, but I want to be happy too. And I know that if I start compromising in huge ways that I'm not going to be happy, then the partnership's not going to last. And I want a partnership that's going to last. So I think it's a team effort. And as cheesy as that sounds, I think it's the reality. And so for me, that's just all I want, is I want us to work simultaneously and together to figure out what is best as a family or as a partnership to do. And I don't think that's too hard. Question 10. Anything else you would like to share about your experience with gender? The one thing that I would say is that even though getting misgendered really, really sucks, and even though you may not have a family that's totally supportive, there's always someone out there that's going to care for you, whether it's a support group or your friends or an online community. You will find it. And if you're not too far in your transition and you want to be, just tell yourself that you're going to get there. I came out to myself officially when I was 19, and that's to myself. I was a senior in high school, and it's not to say that I didn't have thoughts or feelings before then, but I wouldn't let them in. And even when I came out to myself, it was really hard for me to accept that, because I knew what was going to come of that. But eventually you will accept it, and eventually things do happen, even if they take a long time. Just last January, I made a New Year's resolution, which I never do. I said 2 things. Within this next year, I either want to be in gender therapy or I want to be on hormones. Ideally, I would like to have done both. Well, it is mid-August right now, and I've been in gender therapy since the beginning of May, and I've already talked about hormones, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to start them until end of January, early February. And as much as that hurts, and as much as I want the process to go a little bit faster, because it's been 2 or 3 years now, I have made progress. I dress the way I want to. I cut my hair short. I'm gonna change my name in December to officially be Jordan. And, um, you know, by the beginning of 2016, I will be on hormones. And so even though right now it looks like everything is just at a standstill, it's not, and I have made progress. And each and every one of you that's watching this video that feels like they're going nowhere, whether it's gender related or not, you will go somewhere. And you will get where you want to go. It just may not be as fast as you want, but that's okay. You just need to find support to help you while you're waiting so that you can make it through and come out on the other side the person that you want to be. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you guys got something out of this. If you have any questions, comment below, subscribe, email me, whatever. I'm open to anything. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.